In today's episode, we're going to talk about real estate survival and what to do when it slows down.
Welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things real estate, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success. I'm your co-host, Curtis Haddock, alongside the amazing, wonderful Casey Tuter.
Aw. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. It's like, man, we're getting a lot of traction, just the two of us hosting this podcast.
Things are going well.
Extremely well. We've picked up like 20 subscribers a day.
A day.
It's crazy, man.
What day was that?
But it was multiple days. Okay. Don't believe me, you go check it out. And if you don't see the results, then subscribe.
Yeah, then subscribe.
And like some videos.
Yeah.
Maybe make a comment or two.
That'd be helpful.
Even if it's, telling us that we're a bunch of goobers, man.
We are goobers.
So what set us up today, man?
Well,
what do you got?
It's interesting because over my 10 years in real estate, I've seen and experienced myself agents doing really well, and then all of a sudden the market shifts and their hands just go up and they're just like, what's happening? And then of course they blame the market. They're a victim to the media outpour as well. So help me understand when that shifts what to do, because I know from experience whenever things get slow, that's the time to step back and do new things, figure things out, refine your processes, and that's where the growth comes from. So what can we do to make that happen?
Yeah, well, today that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. First thing is just recognizing shifting markets, specifically ones that are slowing down. Next, we're going to give you some stories and examples.
Boy.
I'm sure we both have some good ones on that. But then lastly is the rebuild, like what habits that you need to do to get back on track. And I think that really is the key. The key word is habits. Because if you develop good habits, what I hear from people who have good habits is that it doesn't matter what the market is doing.
Yep.
Those habits are going to generate leads and closings year round.
Right.
So when the market's supposed to be slow, I know people that say that's their best time of year because there's no competition. Everyone quits when the market is slow because they think there's no deals out there. So
right. Well, that's interesting because the only way you can be a good realtor is to first acknowledge that market shift.
Yeah.
Because if all the consumers out there understood that the way that we do, then they may not need us as much, because they'd be like, oh yeah, we can drop the price and we can get it sold to the right buyer.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we're not going to sell unless we get X. And it's like, so we have to educate them on the process. But my point is a lot of realtors are the exact same way.
Yeah.
And I've gotten calls last several days like, hey man, from the part-time agents. And they're like, man, do you know what's going on? Because like my listing is just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's like, newsflash, buddy.
Yeah. A lot of them are.
Right. So you got to admit it first, or you got to understand that there's shifting markets. Then you can use your drive and your work ethic to build the skills.
Yeah. I think even if sellers, and buyers did figure that out, they would still need us, Casey.
Oh, sure. But that's one example of why they need us.
Exactly. I was going to say there'd be another issue of just understanding the contracts and the liability that people have. There are some people that do go out there and do it by themselves, and knowing what we know, it scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, because we know what can go wrong, and doesn't mean that it's going to. But man, you sure want to know to look out for it, to stop it from happening if you can. But changing markets, that could look like so many different things, because we could be talking about going into the colder months, the winter months, which is where we're headed now. We could be talking about completely just changing market conditions that are leading us into slower seasons of real estate. And just like you said, recognizing it and admitting that that's what's happening will at least help you educate your buyers and sellers, but also get you mentally prepared for the actions and activities that you're going to need to do to keep your business going, you know? So if when the market's great, referrals are coming in, you know, buyers and sellers are coming in left and right. There's not much that you have to do when you've built a business like that that's able to send you referrals. That's nice, right? Yeah. But when there's markets that are really good where agents don't get those nice referrals and repeat business, and it's because they actually never did put the time in to build it. And what I think happens is people who have been successful and they did the grind for however long and they know what it takes mentally, they're like, I don't want to do that again. So like when the season starts to shift and it's starting to go to a slow, it's like, man, like I know the kind of effort that it takes, and it was nice getting those referrals and not having to.
And I was home most of the night, most of the evenings.
Yeah. Now I got to get back out there and do it again.
Yeah.
I think that that discourages a lot of people to the point where they just let the changing market just have an impact on them. And then they find something to blame.
Yeah.
It's not their lack of effort. It's the market.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'd be making a lot more money right now if all the people that I've been referred to and are talking to would just pull the trigger, you know? So it's like, so I know from experience that all that will eventually come to fruition one way or another at some point in time. But what I got to do now is get back out there and do the stuff that we teach every day. Which is humbling, and also helps build my confidence because I know what to do when it gets slow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
And I was thinking about this just a minute ago. Like, we've been through two of the, people say COVID was the easy market. It was hard in a lot of ways because if I was going up to bat on a multiple offer with other agents, I won most of the time. And it's because I knew what the sellers wanted. So all those other buyers agents were having to go back out and show houses again and again. Like that's hard.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, how many are we going to lose? Yeah. And it's like, well, when are you going to do what it takes?
Accept what the market's doing.
That's the first time in my career where I could be very, very direct. Just, when are you going to do what it takes?
Yeah.
And now that the market, we've experienced the slowest market we've ever experienced, it's the same thing. It's like, when are you?
It's the sellers that have to.
It's the seller side. When are you going to do what it takes?
Yeah.
Like, and now I can say in a kind way, you're either going to drop the price till it sells, there's nothing else to it, or you're going to have to keep the house and someone's going to have to stay there. You're going to have to rent it out. Have you considered doing that? Have you considered refinancing to get the money, whatever you need to do?
That's all you agents do. Just drop the price until it sells. I could do that.
Yep. So then that's when I play the little game with them of asking, would they buy their neighbor's house for $100?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it is for sale.
I think that's a good game to play that we played before, but you've also said on this podcast before where, you know, I think education is so important, and giving some examples. And one that I really like that you have talked about with sellers specifically is when it was a fantastic market and it was COVID, it's like, you know, and buyers had to be the one to come in. It was multiple offers and they had to decide, okay, I need to commit to paying over ask and not asking for closing costs, and I'm not going to get a deal on this thing. And as a seller, you accepted that market, right? You know, you didn't say, no, I appreciate the 50,000 over ask, but that's not what the market value says right now.
Right. That's not what the comp said.
That's not what the comp say. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and you know, we'll take your offer, but 50,000 less.
Yeah. You can put that to your kid's college.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
My kids are screwed anyways.
Yeah. Nobody did that. They expected buyers to adapt to the market. Well, and now the shoe is on the other foot, and sellers need to adapt to what's going on in the market. That does not mean, give your house away. It means list it for what the market says it is worth.
Yeah.
It is not agents who are dropping your price. It is market and market conditions. And as agents, I think the better you are at educating people on this and communicating what actually is going on, the more success you're going to have converting deals.
Yeah.
I'm hearing I talk to a lot of producing agents, especially as I'm like recruiting and team building. Like there was somebody I talked to yesterday in Florida, big time producer. I mean, saying they're the number one agent in the Keller Williams offices in that area. And he goes, but man, the last couple years have just been volatile, have been rough. He's like, I'm trying to find new ways to get business. And so it was like, man, it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, are you just going to keep doing what you've been doing and let the results continue to dwindle, or are you going to reinvent yourself and go back out there and go find the business the way you need to find the business for the current market?
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that, recognizing it, not just the buyers and sellers having to recognize it, I think agents need to recognize it as well so that they can get back to what it is that they do best.
Totally agree. I think it's all about the mindset, and that was the what you said about the Tom Ferry, the lady that he challenged for $10,000 to go get 100 listings, and you said what's the first thing she did, and we're like FSBOs. It's like she changed her mindset to wrap her head around what it would actually take to meet that goal, and then what action she had to take.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Mindset is a critical piece for sure. If you don't have the right mindset, you can easily become a victim to the market.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Not that this is it is directly related, but and I hear about this like every day with realtors. They'll say, "Hey, I called that FSBO, and they said that." When they list, they're just going to use their sisters. So I guess that's a no-go.
Yeah. And then they just,
it's like,
yeah.
Did you not hear anything that we taught you in the FSBO class or at the last FSBO that you went with me? Like, it's like what agents have to understand. The first mindset is like that objection is the start of their conversation. It's not the end of it. And no one, and this is what I don't understand. People, they want to make a lot of money. It's like, no one is giving you a lot of money for free.
Yeah.
Like if you go get a job making six figures or $200,000, they're going to own you to a certain extent. Like they don't give you that money to let you go be free.
Yeah.
They give you that so you will work for them and provide
perform.
results.
Yeah.
And that's why people can't go get good jobs because they don't have that mindset and those skill sets to do that. And then it's the exact same thing in real estate. It's like, you're not going to walk into that FSBO, and I can't say never, but you're not going to walk in there and they're like, hey, would you mind listing this thing?
Yeah, I like how you're dressed today.
Yeah. It's like, again, I'm sure it's happened, right time, right place, whatever, but most likely if your life depends on it, you're going to have to figure out how to overcome objections.
You have to.
And I think every objection can be overcome in the right situation with the right person. Now, this person over here, the objection of saving money, they may never let anyone overcome it because they may just rather keep their house. But that same objection over here, they may be like, you know what, that makes total sense. It is about the net. And you said we can make what? Okay, great. Let's get this thing listed. Yeah. It could be as simple as that too.
Yeah. I mean, but even the ones that are difficult at that are like, I have a family member. First thing I always think of is, yeah, sure you do. That's an easy way to get people to leave you alone, and most people do. And then, so when people use the family member one, I like that. Again, I like the ones that send people away.
Yeah,
because then it's me against me.
Yeah,
for the most part, unless another me against me type of mindset gets into the equation,
Right.
which doesn't happen often. But the ones that get angry or like lose it, and they're just they say, don't ever call me again or whatever. Like I take those as like a challenge, and
Talk to you Monday.
Yeah. And sometimes you catch them at a bad time, the wrong day, and you call them again. All of a sudden, they're a completely different tune, but they could be the exact same also. But then in person, you meet them, and like you're the only one that got to them in person, and so now you have a leg up on everybody else because everyone else just said, "I'm not following up with that person." There's absolutely no way.
Yep.
And to be clear. I got to make sure, people understand when we're doing these calls that if people are telling you, don't call me again, these are not people that are on the do not call list.
Right.
Just want to say that, but
I bet you there are plenty of FSBOs that say they're on the do not call list.
All right, just say
I haven't heard that one,
it.
but I bet that's out there.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. And then all we got to do is just go check,
Yeah.
But, the family one, I like that one too because it sends most people away. And I'm thinking, wait, the family one for sale by owner and expired. Well, no, even expired. That would, if they're like, did you list with your family the first time? Why not? And if you did, they clearly didn't get it sold. What happened?
Yeah.
For sale by owner, you have a family member that's a realtor. I'm like, oh, whoa, you have a family member that's a realtor and you haven't hired them? Like, what did they do to you?
Yeah.
And I kind of say that jokingly,
Yeah.
but serious. Like, are they not experienced enough to get your household? Is that what it is? Is that why you are doing it for sale by owner? And we know it's just it's a money thing most of the time. But it's like, so when they tell me that, then I'm going, oh, so then you don't think your family member has enough value, like doesn't provide enough value for what they cost. And so it's like, so all you have to do is show them some more like value,
Right.
Show them value, build rapport, and they not every time, but you will get people to choose you over their family.
Yeah. Something else you can do too in that is, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Oh, if you're talking to them about their family member that's a realtor, and it's like, oh, so did they help you at least like run comps and come up with a price? Well, no. Okay, well, where'd you get your price? Now you're asking them questions like, oh, well, we just decided because of this or because of that. Okay. Well, are they going to help you with the paperwork if you do get an offer? Yeah, they said they would do that. Are you going to pay like a flat fee or like, did you guys agree to a percentage? We haven't talked about anything like that yet. Oh, so really you don't have them as an agent.
Yeah.
Because what if like now I'm thinking, okay, so now you go to them with a buyer and say, hey, can you write this contract for $100? And they're like, how about for 3%?
Yeah.
And now you got a problem with that family member all of a sudden because they're not giving you the precious family member a discount.
Yeah.
So you just never know what's happening on that other side.
Or what's going to happen on anything. I bet you we could do a whole episode on objections.
We should.
And objection handling. That'd be a good episode. Would you guys like to have an episode like that?
Yeah, we would, Curtis.
Comment if yes or no, and we'll know exactly what you're talking about. Any stories? Any from your side of times where things slowed down, or we talk about this roller coaster ride all the time when in sales and specifically real estate sales. I know everybody kind of goes on it. Any stories? Why do we go on this roller coaster ride? And any examples that you can give?
There's two kinds of sellers right now, and I'm generalizing, so obviously there's everything in between too. One seller is in a bad spot financially because they bought at the top and now they've got to sell for whatever reason. So that's a bad situation. The other client is someone who's bought prior to 2019 and
got tons of equity.
So I have a seller right now that's in this position. They have what they thought they wanted to list for 275. They shouldn't have listed over 200.
Dang.
I convinced them to list at I think we started at 245. So I talked them. So they lost they lost 30 grand just
their head.
by listing with me, you know? So then but we've redone this, we've redone that. The comp, what are the comps saying? And I'm just like, the comps don't matter.
Was there ever a comp at any point in time
Yeah,
where it would have
well,
been worth 275?
And then because there were houses listed
Yeah.
at a high price, so they thought they could get that.
That's
you have
people-
that conversation.
yeah,
You
people
can't
look
go
at
off
that.
listings because
Yeah.
they could sit for a year and drop 100 grand
Yep.
before they sell. Okay, they heard me say that, but they don't care. There was one that sold, but it was 720 square feet. It was a tiny little house.
Okay, yeah. So they just looked at
Theirs
the
was
price per
literally
foot.
twice as big.
Yeah.
And they used that price per square
Yep,
foot to
yep.
get that number. And they kept asking me what the comps are saying. And it's like, because the house started sitting.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, the comp is saying you're way overpriced. And I don't even care what the comps say. We're listed at 245. It's not working. We have to drop it.
Yeah.
Or you keep it. And it's like, well, so I would go over there and it's like all of a sudden there's like other for sale signs out. They made me put one out by the street. They wanted me to just do all this extra stuff, make sure that people understand that that it has a half acre and it has a gate so that someone could park their trailer back there. It'd be the perfect fit for these kinds of clients. We don't understand why it's not selling because we have all this great stuff. And it's like, it's the price.
Yeah.
It's not in a great school district. The area is not the best. Yes, the home is nice. No one asked you to put that money into it.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been dealing with. So we finally dropped it from over several months, we've dropped it down to 225. I said, we got to be in that price bracket because I think it's going to sell for 200. So 225 is better than 235, 245.
Yeah.
So anyways, then we dropped it to 225. So we drop it like 20 grand and then we get an offer. We get an offer yesterday.
200?
205.
Okay.
And so then the client's going,
Which is a great offer, it sounds like, because you thought it was less than 200.
yes. And I don't even know if it'll appraise at 205 if we
Yeah.
come to an agreement.
So are
Well,
you like telling you guys need to take this and run?
So we countered. We're working it out. I think we're going to get there, but we're like back at like 215, 220. So
That's incredible.
yeah. So but they told me, this is just really disappointing because we wanted to clear 200 grand a piece on this home. I mean, sorry, $100,000 a piece on this home. And I go, no one gets that. Like if you
Yeah.
get even close to that flipping in this house,
Well, and
you are winning.
at that price point too.
Yes. Because they bought it for like 20 grand, like 15, 20 years ago, and then
Yeah.
remodeled it themselves. So it's like they really don't have a lot into it. And it is a nice little house. But it's like you guys have been fighting me, and they wouldn't really tell me what they owed on it or what, and it's like,
Well, you could figure that out.
They've been fighting me. Well, and it really doesn't matter. It's like,
Yeah.
again, you either sell it or you keep it. But it's like, you've been fighting me this whole time because you wanted $100,000 a piece.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're the whole time you're just going, I don't understand. And it's like, and I tell you something and then you just come back 2 days later and go, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just will not
Accept it.
accept it.
You just won't accept
and
reality.
It's so like, we're about $5 grand off right now, and both parties said that they're done. And it's like, really, that's what I'm going to tell the seller is like, you better take this because I will guarantee you it will not get better.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse. Next offer is going to be worse.
Yep.
If we don't even have to price drop it
Yeah.
again.
Yep. Well, not only that, I can't even guarantee that it'll praise for this.
Right. She said, do they not understand we just did a massive price drop? And I said,
It doesn't
do you not
matter.
understand that they don't care?
It doesn't matter.
That is the price that got them into the market.
Yeah.
And then we negotiate.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
And they still just don't, you just tell they just don't want to believe it.
It's just, it's mind boggling. It's mind boggling just getting people to accept reality. It's all feelings, man.
Yeah.
It's all feelings and emotions and, the unfortunate thing is the greed that can come into play in this, in our jobs, and not just from buyers and sellers, but agents as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and you hear it all the
man.
time too. Like if I'm meeting with a new client, they'll talk about their previous realtor. Or it's like, and they'll say things like, "Oh, all they wanted me to do is drop the price," and it's like, "You idiot." It's like, of course. It's like, of course they did. They're trying to help you sell your home.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I've even heard that in the during the COVID market. It's like, yeah, the realtor we used for during that time, they just wanted me to offer $20,000 so they could get a commission check. And it's like, no, they told you right, and you just spent extra money, and now you're bitter about it. It's like people cannot just accept that they won.
I know.
You know, so I was feeling that pressure when I became a seller in 2020, because it was right as things were like taking off, and it's right as Theo's starting school. So it's like, okay, maybe we should move to a better school district. Maybe this is the time. And so when I listed the house, I go, you know, comps are saying like 200. I was like, well, but with the market, maybe we should do like 225.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't do it. And I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's only $225,000. Like, surely someone will pay it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I was like, nope, don't do it. So I listed it for 200, and I got 2 offers. And of course, my gut told me to take the higher one. My feelings, my bank account was telling me to take the higher one, but it was FHA. We were gonna have to get out and move, and it was enough to pay for 2 moves, whatever. But then the other guy was $5,000. He came at $195, and I asked him. I said, "You gonna rent this place out to someone?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, great. Can I rent it from you for month to month for what I'm paying for it now?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so it's like I took like $25,000 less because I had more of a guarantee, and I didn't have to move twice.
Yeah.
And I still made like $70,000.
Yeah.
So it's like I just had to like tell myself, like, don't be a seller.
It's very easy to be a seller. The emotions can really get the best of you, you know. But you know, I think going to like the actions that we have to take as agents in these markets, in these seasons, it's really easy to get caught up in the day to day, and especially like if you do at a point in your career where you get busy and you got a lot of deals coming in, we slowly move away from the fundamentals, and then all of a sudden, when that shift happens, because we've moved away from the fundamentals, that's why this roller coaster happens, and we're not doing the same activities that we did that got us, you know, the success to begin with. And I am as guilty as the next person of letting, you know, success and being busy affect my, prospecting, whatever, money making activities, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the people that do really well in this industry, they're able to multitask, and they don't stop building their business even when things are going well. And if you can maintain good habits, and I mean habits that work for you, I don't care what that is, just money making activities, even whether that's just like social media or, you know, FISBOs or door knocking, I don't care what it is that you do that you find success in. You can't stop once you get business. Because once you do, there's going to be shifts, and you've got to be prepared for them. And if you're prepared for them, and you're consistent with the activities, then you might not even notice the shifting season.
Financially, right?
Yeah, you know, like you might not even notice. I mean, the only way you actually notice it is because you might have to do like more of it in certain seasons than others to get the same result. But it's all about just being consistent and developing those habits, man, which is true of anything. It's so easy to sit in this chair and tell people, you know, but you just got to do the same things that you know, just be consistent and do it every day, do your follow-ups. And it's so easy to say it. It's a whole other thing to do it. I mean, I tell myself this whenever I see agents that just won't do the work.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to shake them and be like, come on, like it's out there for the taking, go get it. And then I think about like, okay, well, how long have I wanted to lose weight? All I got to do is eat better and exercise.
Yeah.
Some health nut out there wants to just shake me probably and be like, dude, get off your...
You're going for the Oreo and...
No, man, it's so... just eat a lettuce, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Eat some vegetables and maybe just go on a walk or something.
Yeah.
You know, you dummy.
Yeah, have you thought about going on a walk?
Did you know all you have to do
It's kinda hot
is
outside.
exercise? And
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I don't like to sweat.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right.
You think I want to sweat right now?
Yeah.
No, I like this Oreo.
That is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's all about comfort, man. And so, it's very easy to sit up here and tell people this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do, but it comes down to like you just have to. Something in you has to want to do it to where you have the mindset to where you're not gonna pick up the Oreo. you
Yeah.
know? It's like yes, that would satisfy my cravings like right now, but I know it's temporary. And what I really want, I have to sacrifice and work for. It's true of anything.
Yeah. Well, and we're just good at putting blinders on too.
Yeah.
Because you sit down and talk to an agent and you're like, this is how it's done. And these are the things you need to do. And they're like, great. They're like, so where should I get my business cards from?
Yeah.
And you're like, did you not hear anything we just talked about?
I know,
First of all, I
know.
told you to not get business cards.
Yeah, but
and
but
the
it's
second
one
thing
ear or the
is
other.
we're talking about income produced, like talking about real estate. And the first question you have for me is where do you get business cards?
Yeah.
Like maybe
It's
like where do you get
interesting.
that list to call?
Yeah. It's interesting because I mean they think that that's what's going to get them the business. You know, I got to have those things.
Yeah.
I got to have those.
It's gonna be a
things.
little easier if I have
You know?
those.
You know, I've been thinking about this too. Like, just I'm just keeping it simple. Like, has always is always worked.
Yeah.
You know, keep it simple. And like, I'm thinking about all the AI craze and social media and things like that. Like that, the same thing happened like when the internet came to. You know, and it's like. And and it took some time. Like we had these systems that came out, and we have systems that work really, really well. But I promise that there were if social media would have existed at that time, there would have been people saying, "Oh, the internet is great. Like you can make millions of dollars if the internet's going to make millionaires, and you've got to use it." And so people probably were like going and get websites and doing all this stuff. I got to have my website, and this website's going to give me all this business, and it's
Yeah.
going to be so much easier. And it's like, yes, there's going to be things that make it easier, but it's all about putting systems in place and being consistent. But the actual fact is, don't get distracted by the shiny objects. All that it does is it distracts you from what actually is going to build your business.
Which is having real estate conversations.
That's what it comes down to every single time. Because here's my point is, if the real estate conversation stops becoming it's no longer important in the transaction, then we are out of a job,
Right.
right? Because if everything can be done through AI
Yeah.
and software and systems, then where's our value?
Yeah.
Because our value is the middleman that connects the technology and the software to the end user, educating them, bringing it all together, and helping facilitate the transaction.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I think is going to be hard to ever completely eliminate. As much as people want to, because of the cost that they perceive it, I just don't see anytime soon. Anyways,
Yeah. I agree. And it's just so. I mean, the internet is just full of propaganda and empty promises, and I like every time someone's selling something, I don't even know what they're selling.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even make sense.
I'll tell you, it's a webinar,
Right, but then what?
a sales funnel.
Yeah,
Buy my high ticket item, but I'm going to sell it
but-
to you for $50. It's a $2,000 item.
But then like, it's like when I took the YouTube class.
That stuff works, though.
Like it was a great website class on YouTube. But what I didn't know is like what is he actually selling? What I didn't know was all the subscriptions and money I was gonna have to spend to keep that going.
Right, and without a guarantee of results.
Yeah, and it's like, so if I'm gonna learn and figure that out, why don't I just call more for sale by owners?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it just makes more sense because I'm having real estate conversations. And like you said, that's the piece that they want to take away. Well, great. like you go do your YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
You spend $2,000-$3,000 a week on editing and promoting and ads and all that, and then I'll just go do it organically.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I do. There are, you can, the idea is like, man, if you can get in front of, phone calls it's just one person at a time, right? Which is a slower play. But if you can figure out how to get that value like in front of the masses, great. But then if everybody's doing it, then we're back to competition square one, right? Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's in front of the masses doing the same things. It's like, who is adding value?
Yeah.
To those masses, to those individuals. So it comes back to building rapport and adding value, I think, still. So anyways, you wanna wrap us up? We're getting time here.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a great episode. Obviously, to recap us just a little bit, it's like first thing that's got to change is your mindset, and then you have to build skills, and you have to learn. Well, have your mindset, work on your mindset every day, and then you have to understand that the market shifts, and then you need to learn what skills you need to adapt and learn through the changes. And then once you go through full cycles of the market, like you're in, if you can figure that part out. So as we come to an end, just want to thank you guys for watching and listening, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell for future notifications. And we are signing off. I'm Casey Tuter, and this is Curtis Haddock.